We're live.
All right, guys, we're live.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. We want to welcome you this evening. We're going to give everyone an opportunity just to come in a little bit. We want to welcome you. My name is Yolanda Walker, and welcome to National Black Duo Association's Masterclass today with Brandy Gowder. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Hey, Brandy.
Hi.
Give y'all a couple minutes to get on. Well, a couple seconds because we're gonna be here a couple minutes, so a couple seconds to get on. Again, I want to say my name is Yolanda Walker, and we are here with National Black Doula Association for our masterclass with Brandy Gowder, focusing on your business, your doula business. Just give a little information about National Black Doula Association. NBDA is a doula association focused on Black and Brown families. I want to say we specialize in Black and Brown families, and we work in those communities to show our support for them. We have a lot of things coming up, so stay tuned for announcements that will be coming later in the show. I want to just give you some information about Brandy. Brandy Gowder is a certified birth doula, mentor, and ambassador for National Black Doula Association. And she is the CEO of the Smiley Bee Love in Chicago, Illinois. That's where the bumblebee comes from. So if you get your, in the chat, put your little bumblebees in to show her some love. She provides compassionate support during pregnancy, birth, and postpartum, creating a safe, non judgmental environment for every family. Inspired by her experience as a mother of three and navigating traumatic hospital births, Brandy saw the need for stronger advocacy in birth work. Through Smiley Be Love, she empowers birthing parents and their villagers with knowledge to make informed choices while educating communities on how to nurture mothers during this sacred time. Thank you, Brandy, for focusing on our Black moms and our mothers. And we appreciate that your experience caused you to make an impact and change your world. We are going to give it over to Brandy, who will now present to you. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the NBDA's Masterclass. Um, I am doing my masterclass on Welcome to Teach the Village and Grow Your Hive. My name is Brandy Gowder. I'm the CEO, like Yolanda said, of Smartly Be Love here in Chicago. And what we'll be talking about today is what you'll be learning is how to use teaching as a marketing tool to fill your doula calendar and to grow your practice. Of course, you have my Instagram, so you can go and follow me. That's SmileyB_love. And now we're gonna go ahead and start the masterclass. Yes, just waiting for the next slide. Okay, so I'm going to give you the framework on how to create any class. This is just going to be your foundation and your how you go about doing your class. You can make it however you want to, but this is just the foundational steps. So it's a 5 step framework. First, you are going to build connection, which is breaking the ice, creating a safe space for your clients to be able to talk and communicate with each other. And then you're going to go to challenge. This is going to identify a real struggle that parents face. You also are going to have a role of a doula, and that is going to show how you provide solutions for the challenge. And then a story. So, usually, I like to include stories to go ahead and wrap everything up. And that shares a person is either you share a personal story or you'll share a story from a client, a previous client. And then you also want to have the next steps. What are your next steps? Guide them towards working with you. And then the next slide. Okay, and now we're going to start our 5-step framework. I'm going to give you a couple examples so you're ready and prepared. So when you are first doing your icebreaker, which is your connection, you want to, before you get started with anything, you want to share one word about how you're feeling about pregnancy. That's what you want to be asking your clients, some kind of icebreaker. But you also want to ask things like, what's one thing you're most excited about in your birth journey? You can ask, how many of you have heard of a doula before today? Just build some kind of icebreaker, get people to talking, create an empathetic space for people so they can start opening up. And then you want to also have a challenge. So this challenge is also going to come with a solution, which we're going to talk about later. But the challenge, you can tell you can start talking to your clients in your class. You can say, many moms feel unheard during labor. Has that ever crossed your mind? Another question is, a lot of parents tell me they didn't know what their options were. Have you felt that way? And a final question that you can use for a foundation for a challenge is, who here has worried about being left alone in a hospital? So, just like you created a challenge, you also want to have a role, some kind of solution. So you can go ahead and let them know what are the roles of a doula. So the challenge is you already gave your clients, you also want to come up with a solution, and that's giving them the roles of a doula. So my role is to provide emotional support, advocate for your wishes, and help your family feel prepared. You also want to be getting the village together, making sure that you support the village and teaching them how you do that. Think of me like a guide to someone who walks with you through pregnancy, birth, and beyond. And then the next part of the framework is coming up with some kind of story. You might already have a video that one of your clients previously did, or you might have a personal story of your own. So some examples for a story is, one of my clients felt nervous going into her birth, but with doula support, she left feeling empowered. Hold on for 1 second. They just putting the slide back up. And then another example is, a family I work with didn't know their rights in the hospital. With my help, they got the birth experience that they wanted. And I've seen moms who felt unseen light up when they realized they had choices. So, giving them some kind of backstory of your personal experience, of how a doula helped you, or having a client have a simple video allows them to see that your work is working and you are providing solutions to the challenges that they're having. So, of course, with business, you always want to have a next step. What is the next step after they've gone through your class? After you've connected with them, you had a nice icebreaker, you presented a challenge and gave them, trying to figure out what are the challenges that they have within their birth, and then presented a solution, and then also a story. You want to say, what's the next steps? This is business. You want to make sure that you're bringing the clients over to the next steps of how to reach you, whether that's social media, whether that's a list of, you might have a sign up list or a QR code that they can just screenshot and it goes straight to a one-on-one with you. So they can book for Calendly. Whatever you want to do, you have to provide the next steps. So like I said, a sign up sheet, QR code, or take some free resources. Giving free resources is always going to be good for the community, and they're going to start to trust you. So It's always good to do. And then the next steps. Next slide. Okay. And your voice is your marketing. So start teaching today. Are you ready to start teaching your community? Well, let's connect and take the next step through, of course, like Joy said and Yolanda. I am the National Vagdula Association Mentor and Ambassador, and I also have my own 3-month mentorship. Right there, for my mentorship, you'll learn how to build skills, grow your business, prepare for the National Vagdula Association certification. You can also schedule a free meet and greet. So that let's talk about your goals, see how mentorship can support you, and then also stay connected with email, website, and IG details. So just like I did this with teaching you, of course, and I just showed you, this is how you go ahead and you take them to the next steps. I'm also doing that with you today. And then the next slide. And here is my information. If you want to connect with me, you have my email. You also have my website and where you can go on there and book your meet and greets. And then you have my IG, which I'm usually on posting most of the time. So you can reach me. And yeah, does anybody have any questions about anything in the comments that you want to talk about as far as the masterclass today?
All right, Yolanda.
Yeah,
We have the first
Sorry, I was
question.
looking at the question.
that's all right.
The first question is, how can you create an authentic first connection with potential clients that feels personal and trustworthy?
So one way, like I said, is building, having your icebreakers, and also when you have these icebreakers, also giving empathetic listening to your clients. You want to be empathetic. You want to save space for your clients. You want to give resources to show that they can trust you, and also you want them to keep coming back. So that's a way for you to do it. You definitely want to listen, have some open-ended questions, and then give some solutions.
Okay, Brady, I have a question.
Okay.
What if you currently have a client and the client feels that their trust was breached or they felt like they weren't being heard through whatever scenario that happened?
Okay. Well, if you do have a client and they feel like their trust has been breached, you want to go ahead and follow up with that client and you want to get their honest opinion about the situation. You want to, like I said, use that empathetic listening, figure out how you can solve the issue, and then come up with something. You want to utilize those good customer service skills and try to come up with a resolution that would be good for you and the client. So, but you always want to stay professional.
Very good. So leaning on some soft skills. I know we talk about a lot about doula skills and things like that. And a part of
Hmm.
those doula skills is having soft skills to, be with your client and approach your client properly. Okay, there's another question. How do you
Okay.
position yourself as as a solution without overwhelming or scaring potential clients? So how can you be the solution without like overbearing people, um, being too much?
Okay. So one thing that you can do is provide people with that education and that information so they're able to also make an informed decision for themselves. You don't want to overwhelm them with the solution as far as I'm the doula, I can, solve all the problems. No, you want to make sure that you're giving them the information and then so they can figure out what's right for them. Yeah, and then that way they feel like the power is within their hands, and they can make a decision on whether or not you're the doula for them. And also, when
That's
you are booking, sorry, when you are having your one-on-ones with your clients, you want to go into the room not trying to sell yourself. You want to go into the room where I'm here, I'm the doula, and I want to connect with those who want to connect with me. And I want to create a safe space for people to ask questions, to be able to get to know me and I get to know them. And then you want to be able to get those resources, get some education. So, yeah. Sorry, Yolanda, I cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good, baby. I want you to answer all the questions, honey.
That part.
Um, okay. What what makes your role distinct or different from medical providers? And how do you communicate that to clients?
Okay, so we want to make sure that we're keeping the role of a doula in the scope of a doula. That's the information, the support, the advocacy, the love, the medical part, and explaining that the medical part is for the medical team, which is the nurses, then the OBs, and the midwives. Creating a strong foundation and letting people know, like, this is my role. This is what the role is of an OB and a nurse, and also utilizing that in your contract. So they always have that available and ready for them so they can go back and look at.
That's good.
For sure.
Um, okay, you know what? Let's elaborate that on it a little bit more. Can you give me some samples of what can a doula do that medical or clinical providers do not offer in this space?
Okay. So most of the time your doula is spending a lot of more time with you than your OB. So we'll be doing your prenatals with you. We'll also be texting and calling more often than your OB, spending most of the time with you, giving you education. Um, we'll also, when we're in a room with you, making sure that you know how to advocate for yourself, know how to use your voice. And we're also more than likely coming to your household or virtual meetings with your village. And we're teaching them and you at the same time. So those are some of the things that the OB doesn't really get a chance to do that we do get a chance to do.
Awesome. I love that.
For sure.
In what ways can client stories inspire and teach the wider village about the value of doula care?
Yeah. So I really love when my clients give me reviews. And if I can catch a good, especially after birth, so sometimes it's hard for us doulas to get reviews from my clients after birth. So we try to at least wait until like 3 to 6 months, depending on what type of time they have after baby comes. But once they are able to give us that knowledge, they're able to give us that time so they can give us a nice review. People, I don't know about you all, but before I buy anything, before I purchase anything, purchase or go see a movie or whatever, I always look at the reviews. So client reviews are very much important, and having a video or even something on Google or Yelp allows the community to see that you're actually putting in that work. So, and good reviews, bad reviews, whatever the reviews, it helps you as a doula agency or doula business to even get better. So, but reviews, I always good.
I know the reviews is what help us get more
For sure.
business and help more families. So I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you. Um, okay, in that light, what is the most powerful story you can share from your doula work, while of course keeping it confidential, that shows your impact?
So, hmm, that's a good question. I think my last mom who I had, she was a younger mother. And I ended up kind of teaching her how to intuitively and also to trust in her ability as a mother to make decisions for herself by putting the ball in her court, by making sure she made decisions for herself, giving her her options, but showing her that she can utilize her voice. But one thing that I always do is tell my moms to practice self care. Always utilize
Mhm.
your village. And by her putting the utilizing her village in place, educating her village, and then also um, using her voice to say what she wanted. By the time she had baby, she had the birth that she wanted, the birth experience that she wanted. But then not only that, afterwards her village came through where she really didn't need any postpartum work. Like the village did everything, and they were there for her. Everybody was ready and prepared,
Nice.
and yeah, and that was one of the really good experiences because she was practicing her self care. She did the things that she needed to do for herself so that when baby came here, she already had her self care ready and prepared. So it was a nice.
Mhm.
She had a good postpartum, no part of postpartum depression, and her village was there to help her.
Very good. I love that.
Yeah,
Like your village is so important during this time, like
for
literally
sure,
during birth and postpartum. And I'm real big on mental health, during birth and pregnancy, but especially during postpartum because that's when all the things are happening and people think, like you're good, or
yeah,
they're focused so much on a baby and not on the birthing person. So
for
I love
sure.
that. I
And
love
that's
that.
why these classes that I gave you the foundation for, this is just the foundation. You can put your own little tweaks to it, but it's also good for doulas to build their own village. So
Yeah.
going out there and meeting your community with these classes, whether they're virtual or in person, is always going to allow you to meet the community, and then they'll be able to pass it on like, oh yeah, I met this doula, she did this prenatal
Yeah.
math or class with me, and she was cool, and pass on your information also.
Yeah, and that's what I love about National Black Doula Association.
For sure.
With being an ambassador and a mentor with you, we have our village, right?
Yes,
The ambassadors have their village, the mentors have their village, the educators, they have their village, and it's a village of people who look like you,
for sure.
that may even experience the same things, and you can debrief or have a sounding board or get some type of support, during that time. So no, I love that. Even not just moms and families have their village, but doulas have your village too. So
For
I love
sure.
that.
And one thing
Um,
about the National Bank Doula Association, we do not gatekeep. I'm giving you
baby,
a foundation to a class that you will be paying for in a mentorship, but you're getting it
yeah,
for free. And we don't
yeah,
gatekeep around here. We want to make sure that you have a sustaining doula business and that
for
you also
sure.
have a support system. So,
Very
mhm,
good. I love that. I love
for
that.
sure.
Here's another question. How can doulas use storytelling as a marketing tool to attract and connect with clients?
So, of course, y'all know I'm on social media. I'm on IG. So, storytelling
Okay.
either, yep, Yolanda too. She be posting. I be saying, girl, I'm like,
Girl.
I gotta get more used to it. But yeah, you gotta get out there. Like, tell
Yeah.
people your story. How did you start? In your post, letting people get to know you, or letting people see the things that you're doing, and that's going to help them, get to know a broader view of what your business is about and who you are as a person. So it's very important for you to go out there, and even if you're not doing too many posts, at least let people know who you are, what's your background story, just so they can get to know you.
So, what would be your number one tip for a new doula that's starting, have a heart for this, has passion for this? What should she do first to get involved in doula work?
One thing I am going to say is it's an investment. You have to invest in yourself. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, you're not gonna last long. You have to be able to invest in yourself either to get a better education or invest in your business so that you can, do more marketing. Whatever it is, you have to constantly educate yourself, put that time to the side. And sometimes you are gonna have to pay for a mentorship. you are going to have to take these classes so you can learn certain things. But it is all you. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't go and take in all the classes, but take something that's for you, like that you feel comfortable with. That is something that because you want your business to be you. So, but you have to be willing to invest in yourself when it comes to business. It's gonna put you in a lot of different rooms, and like I say, if you while you loving on yourself, make sure you know how to invest in yourself.
I love that. That's what I did when I first started. I just started taking all the classes, like
Oh yeah, for sure.
taking every class, every class. But that was a part of fear. That was a part of I don't think I know enough. I don't think I have enough information.
Yeah,
When in actuality, I did, and all I had to do was step out because you won't know more until you step out and start doing the work. Then
for
you
sure.
can like critique yourself and things like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
And I
So this
invested
is
in like getting
oh
a
sorry,
mentor, and she taught me a lot
wow.
about the business and how to structure everything, and gave me contracts, which is what we do for our mentorship. Giving the basics and the education and everything, and then being on that journey with you. So it's an
Yeah.
investment, but it a mentor is the best thing you can do for yourself for sure.
It's so true. Brandy, the CEO of NBDA, she was my mentor, and she
Yes,
gave me all the tools that I needed to step out and do what I need to do, not only for myself in private practice, going into agencies
yeah,
and things like that. So having a mentor is definitely the best.
for sure.
Um, this is our final question, I believe.
Okay.
Um, in your community, where do opportunities for connection naturally exist that doulas can tap into?
In my community.
So in the doula community, what are opportunities for connection? Like your resources, like where does that naturally exist?
Sorry, hold on for 1 second.
You're good. This is why this is live, and this is what
I know,
happened during
right?
live. You just never
My
know.
apologies. So, one thing, well, in my community, some ways that doulas do link up. Of course, we always got Facebook. The Facebook groups be popping, and then
Yes.
you also have collectives that you can get in
Hmm.
touch with or create your own. Like me, I created my own collective here in Chicago because, like I want to make sure that I'm connecting because I'm a doula. So I want to make sure I'm connected with all the doulas here in Chicago, and
Hmm.
then utilizing the different resources we have and that we can share with each other. So yeah, those are some things.
I
Or
love
you
that.
can meet up with some doulas that you end up meeting because we always
Hmm.
have to have a backup doula on the team. And we want to make sure we having fun, spending time together, getting to know and building relationships with these doulas because we never know, especially in business, when we want to collaborate with each other.
I love that. So having your local village is just as
Yes,
important,
for sure.
that you can lean on and act, rely on as well. Okay, nope. I
Yes.
have another question. Sorry, I have another question from IG.
Okay.
Um, does being a doula mean having your own business, or can you work with someone like an agency, or or being on staff somewhere?
Yes. So no, you don't have to have your own doula business. That is a personal choice if that's something that you want. There are doula agencies. There are volunteer services that you can always do. And those are really good for getting your certification. If you have to have a certain amount of if you have to have a certain amount of clients. But no, you don't have to have your own business. They have agencies, volunteer services, and also you can create if you want to your own business.
That's good because a lot of people that get into this business think you automatically got to go into private
Oh
practice and
yeah,
have your own business and all those different things. And baby, working for somebody else ain't nothing wrong with it. Uh,
right, right.
ain't
Because
nothing
you
wrong
gotta
with
pay
it.
bills. You
Got to
gotta
pay the
pay the
bills,
bills.
and you need experience with being a doula. Like
Right,
you can't, people want to know what is your experience, what are other families saying. So, collaborating with agencies or even partnering with other doulas,
for sure.
being backups for them, or if you're new and starting out, maybe shadowing them is a great opportunity to do so. So thank you so much, Brandy, for
Yeah.
just giving us your time today and giving us those great tips and advice for doulas and how they can better their businesses and themselves. And even just jumping into doula career, I want to give you an opportunity to share your all your media, social media plugs. Put it out there for the people
For
where
sure.
they can find you.
Okay, most of my information is on my website. You can go to www.smileyblove.com, and of course, my email is right there if you want to get in touch with me. On my website, you also is my phone number. And if you want to hit me up on IG, of course, it's SmileyB_love. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Follow me, I follow back. And yeah. I'm glad I have this masterclass today, and thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much, honey. I appreciate you. I am going to hand it over to Joy. Joy, do you have any announcements, or are we done for today?
All right, Yolanda. So we're gonna wrap it up. Just a few announcements. We do have our practice with your doula at the end of this month. We have just linked our events page. So if you guys are interested in joining us for a wonderful workshop, is going to be hosted by Danae Haynes. So if you guys are interested, please head over to the events page to sign up. And of course, we have Journey to Doula World, which is for doulas who are, or people that are aspiring to become doulas. Alrighty, guys, you have a great one. Thank you for joining us for this live, and we'll see you guys next month. Bye bye.